Oilers Live Podcast. Oilers Live Podcast.
Now, get ready to talk hockey. Streaming from the Oilers Live Studio. Subscribe or follow today.
Hey, it's Michael, Oilers Live, back for another Oilers Live playoff edition. We've got Bob the goalie and Patrick, Oilers fanatic, on for a Game 3 recap, series recap, I guess. It's been, over a week since we were last on, and I'm listening to the Oilers Live theme song, and I actually kind of miss it. So that is a classic jingle, guys. A classic jingle.
Oh, it's always stuck in my head after I leave the show.
I know. I don't know if it's any good, but it's
catchy.
It is catchy, and I never want to get rid of it. I don't know. One day we'll have to do a full rebrand. Means taking me off the show, the whole deal.
It is this generation's My Heart Will Go On.
I couldn't have said it better. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Just finished watching the Toronto Maple Leafs and Austin Matthews get shut out in a Game 4. Now, in some way, and I don't hate Toronto as much as most Oilers fans, but I do. I'm not a Toronto fan, but I kind of hate Florida even more. But whatever the case, it's 2-1 for Toronto, and they've got Mitch Marner, they've got Austin Matthews, they've got Nyes, they've got Tavares, they've got Riley. Come on, getting shut out. Twitter blows up in a game that we lose with 0.4 seconds left. But to get shut out in an important game like that, Bob, I'm just talking to you because Patrick's not listening. He's too busy in the chat.
I multitask. Come on.
Multitasking. That's right. We're here to talk Oilers hockey, but we got to talk about this.
You were talking about Toronto and I lost interest. It kind of faded off.
That's right. But at some level, do you get a little bit of, this feeling of, maybe it's not so bad in oil country when you watch it? Did you guys watch the game first off? Because at one point it was 31 shots to 12 in favor of Florida. I'm not sure that Toronto remembered to get off the bus.
Didn't sound like it. I missed it, but I heard Joseph Wall put on a goalie clinic and the Leafs basically wasted it.
Well, sorry. Now I'm seeing your chat. Welcome in, everyone. Even Lotzi. Yeah, no, Joseph Wall did put in a goalie clinic, and Bobrovsky was good too. Don't get me wrong, despite the few shots that he had to save. But
it's tougher. It's tougher to be in Bobrovsky's skates. Actually, you want to be the guy who gets all the shots. It's really tough to stay focused. Number one, you don't feel the rhythm of the game. You're never in a zone. And actually, every shot that you get when you get 20 or less shots, every shot you get is magnified by 5, by 6, by 7. Every shot is that much heavier, that much more important because the other guys put on a clinic. You let in even a great goal, and your team is down. Their shoulders drop because you're peppering the other goalie. He's stopping everything. You let in your 11th shot, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" Right? So
goalies must hate playing behind me when I'm on defense, then, because I don't let anything by.
Then we had an imposter at the heavy hockey match showed up.
gonna say I must have missed that. Anyway,
Yeah, I didn't play defense. I was on forward.
I'm spending too much time in the penalty.
That's right. Oh man, I love the setup tonight because Patrick, we don't get your full thing there, but behind you, just to your right, our left, is Elliot Friedman. And it's like he's like staring over your shoulder right now.
Special
Just
guest. He's really going to be really quiet though. Just don't.
just watching us tonight. Man, I got the frizzy hair going on tonight. It's like I haven't been on a podcast in 11 days. I forgot how to prepare. I don't know what's going on. It's all good. Hey, Name is in the chat. That's great. Jeff's in the chat.
Name, what's up, buddy?
Some stranger is back. Some strangers back. Everybody's here. I'm not sure if Angel's going to show. We didn't even do like a series wrap up on the Kings. I mean, that was something. So let's where do we want to start today? At first, let's go to Patrick to give us the rundown, just a short version of the rundown, if you will. And then let's kick it off and let's chat a little bit about some Oilers hockey, what needs to happen, and you know where we're at, and should we be worried, that kind of thing. So give us the latest and greatest news, because it's been a busy couple of days in oil country, and we don't want it to be for these reasons. But yeah, let us know.
Well, the latest news, I don't know if you could call it the greatest news, but we know Calvin Pickard will be out for Game 4. So Stuart Skinner and Olivier Rodrigue will remain our goaltenders for at least Game 4. Colin Delia was called up. Well, I don't know if he'll really be called up anyway, but called to Edmonton from inactive duty to be the extra goaltender. So Tommy Gazzola over at Edmonton Sports Talk reported on that one. So take what you will from that. To me, that sounds like Calvin Pickard probably not ready for at least this series. Like they said, day to day for his injury. But, you know, if you're bringing up another goaltender, that sounds to me like Calvin Pickard's going to be out longer than expected. If you're expecting him back any day, you probably don't need to bring in another goaltender. But hope I'm wrong. Hope Calvin Pickard is ready sooner than expected. Stuart Skinner, obviously the big talk on social media, everything last night and today, a lot of hate as per usual. I think people just want to hate him for hating him.
Yep.
If the Oilers won that game, it might have been in spite of Stuart Skinner, and because they lost, it's definitely because of Stuart Skinner. And I'm not saying he was perfect last night. He definitely had a couple goals I think he'd probably like back, but he was far and away not the lone reason that the Edmonton Oilers lost that hockey game. So that's basically the latest here around oil country.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? And Stuart Skinner was supposed to be our guy going into the playoffs. He gets the first 2 starts. He's not been great, right? I get why the fans are on him. But he's not been the reason. That's at first when the Oilers came out flying game, let's just get into it, guys. I mean, when the Oilers came out flying in Game 3, I thought the first 15 minutes of last night's game, I thought they looked dominant. It looked like it was going to be ugly. It looked like sweep, right, Bob? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Were we all kind of excited? Like this was it. The Oilers finally got a really good fast start, and then something happened. I don't know what happened. Bob, thoughts?
Yeah. No, I didn't get well. Obviously, I cheered when we scored the goals because every goal, especially if it's one where you got the lead and you're adding on the lead, is exciting. But we are not. It was too early for us to have a 2-goal lead. We are not a team that can concentrate on defense only. We are a team that has good balance from defense to offense. Like I think we are strong defensively a lot of the times, but with a mix of knowing that we can also jump up. But if we start playing this one-man forecheck and stacking up from the center line back, that's not our style. That cost us on the comeback the other day too, where we shut it. We were up 4-2. We shut everything down, and let's play 90s New Jersey style hockey. That's not what we do. We need to jump up and still apply the forecheck, apply pressure, go for net, get that 10th goal. I don't give a shit. Just keep going. We're not a shutdown team. We can shut down, but we have to have that offense in our head too. It can't just be defense. So yeah, we were up 2-0, and like we started going to that kind of a defensive mode. I'm like, well, this is going to bite us in the ass. So I was hoping they'd pick it up in the second and third period. Be like, okay, let's go. In the third period, we did, but it's just
It seems
it's
to
not.
bite every other team though in the ass when they go into defensive mode versus the Oilers, right? Like it works both ways, right? It's like we need to give when we do spot them too. It's like we do have them right where the Oilers have them right where
Yeah.
they want them. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's almost
We
like
are
sitting
that
on a
team.
lead isn't a good strategy.
no, no.
We are that team for sure that plays better when we're behind the 8 ball. Absolutely. Like, we saw the best of our Oilers yesterday too when we were fighting for that tying goal.
Yeah.
We also saw the best. We also saw the best of Stuart Skinner there. Like when we were down 3-2, he came up with some absolutely spectacular saves to keep us in that hunt. And I'm going to say this right off the bat: Stuart Skinner was not good yesterday. He came up as best when we were down 3-2. Absolutely, some huge saves. There's two there that I would like to see him get back because they went through him. The one where the guy made the nice move to the backhand through the legs. Another one that slipped through his, the 7-hole between the arm and your chest. Every goalie will tell you that if it goes through you, you feel like you should have had it. There was definitely the other breakdowns and stuff that probably more at fault that never should have happened to get to that point. But in the end, when the puck goes through you, you want that save. The other two, including the game winner, I don't put that on Stu at all. In fact, I actually thought, he overcommitted a bit on the game winner, but I actually thought his initial process was a good idea. No time on the clock, basically. You come out to challenge a guy who's shooting from a bad angle because two guys are sitting on each other in the slot there to cover that hole. And then, Smith did not have time to go around the net for a wraparound. So he comes out to challenge the shot. Smith wants to skate around him, but knows he doesn't have the time. So he shoots, gets around Skinner enough to shoot it through the crease and kind of hope for the best. And look what happened. That shot was missing.
Yeah, it was going straight through.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't be worse luck, right? But, I think they're going to shave off a little bit off of Dry's blade for next game.
Too big.
In hopes. Let's talk about this. And Patrick, I want your thoughts. But right off the hop, we're in here for, all of 2 minutes. And some stranger says, tough loss, boys, and Leon needs a spanking. What's the thoughts on Draisaitl? I mean, how do you feel about him? I don't think this has been, classic Leon Draisaitl for the whole playoffs. And it's also seemingly, like last game seemed like maybe his worst game of the playoffs so far. Thoughts on Draisaitl's play last night?
Yeah, well, he was right after Stuart Skinner. Draisaitl was the guy that most everybody was complaining about, and justifiably so. Like, Skinner made some mistakes, Draisaitl made some mistakes, and the last one going in off his stick, I mean, that's a fluke. I don't know if you can really hold that against anybody, but overall, it's a bad game from Draisaitl, and a few people have been guessing that he's injured, and that might be part of the why he's been struggling. He's been, like you said, he's been up and down in these playoffs, and I don't know if he's ever had proper time to heal to get back to 100%. I mean, like, who knows if Draisaitl's been at 100% for years now. He seems to always get some kind of injury in the playoffs. He fights his way through it, and this was the year that we've seen the Oilers take as much time as they have. 4 guys that have been injured coming into the playoffs, and I'm sure it helped because a lot of guys have looked better, but Draisaitl's been one of those guys that it almost feels like there might be something new off that he got during the LA series that might kind of be adding on to what he was already fighting through. So I don't think Draisaitl's not a guy where you have to question his ability or question his work ethic. Like, he was the Oilers MVP this year. So I tend to think it's not a case of him playing bad. I think he's fighting through something, and it's affecting him right now.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem to have the same jump, does he? Yeah, I mean, he's been over time. He's been known for the odd bad pass, right? But he makes he kind of
whole
it's
pass.
like yeah, yeah. But he makes 90% of these wild passes that nobody else would even think to make. But the last couple of games, in fact, even maybe for the playoffs, it just hasn't been there. Bob, thoughts on Draisaitl?
I disagree with Patrick for a little bit here. Yeah,
hold on,
I do.
hold the phone.
How do you kick him out of here?
I don't know, but I love it. This is
Where's that X button? Come on.
Why is my mic on mute? I don't understand.
All right. Let's hear it.
I'm not going to disagree with the fact that he might be hurting, and that's probably a given. There's quite a few that, like you said, they were hurt towards the end of the year. It's tough to even be 100%, especially in a playoff grind. Not to, if you're already fighting an injury, chances are you aggravate it somehow in these playoffs because they take a toll on you. They take a toll on healthy bodies. But Leon Draisaitl has set this tone for himself the last few playoffs. I mean, that year that he got a high ankle sprain against LA in the first round, he still goes on a bender that whole year and averages like 2 points a game. Even last year, he was fighting injuries and he was on fire. Like playoff Leon is a force. And I don't like last game was definitely his worst game of the playoffs, but that's a one-off. Has he been the playoff Leon of the last couple of years? No, he still can't be. He sure hasn't been a weak link. He still has been, if not our top forward or top two forward, in these playoffs. So I don't think it's wrong for us to expect greatness out of Leon, regardless if he's hurt. We don't know his injuries, but he's played through injuries before and still been one of the best players in the NHL.
Yeah, and maybe part of this though too, Bob, is we just expect more from him.
Yeah, we
right?
do.
Like, yeah,
but that's not.
that's fine.
That's because he plays that way that we expect more. So that's on him that we expect more. So let's go back to Stuart Skinner again. We're at the point now. I feel that the majority of the fan base at the point now, it doesn't matter what Stuart Skinner does. It's going to be a lose-lose. Like Patrick said before, if we win the game, it'll be in spite of our goaltending. If we lose, it's because of our goaltending, especially when Skinner's in net.
Might argue, though, Bob, that we've won all of our games in spite of our goaltending.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think all of this crap about Skinner is maybe, it's garbage. It's just people wanting something to complain about, because I don't think Pickard's been, outstanding either. He's been good and he's made the saves when you need him to. But we're not getting a goaltending clinic from Pickard, are we? Like when he was in that.
Not statistically. I thought he was elite in our series clincher win against LA, and even then he let in 4 goals. He was elite against the last game against Vegas, and he let in 4 goals. So statistically, he's not going to be like blowing you away. But again, it's a lot about timing. So I'm one of the biggest Skinner boosters out there, as everybody's well known. I get crucified for that on a daily basis. But I also recognize that this has been a down year for him, and he has not been good in these playoffs. He still has the capable of being good. I mean, he's brought us there before, not in spite of him. He played a major role in it. He still has it in him. Yeah. He's still capable. I still believe in him. But I understand that a lot of the stuff where the fans are doubting him is on Stuart Skinner, because he has not consistently been the goalie that we want him to be, and that a lot of us know he can be. So when he has a stinker of a game, and unfortunately some of his stinker games are almost nauseous, then that's what stays in a lot of the fan base's mind, is like, here's another Stuart Skinner. So he's kind of laid that bed. He has to lie in it. So he's going to have to put games up together where he shut the team down. He lets in 1 goal for in order to appease maybe 50% of the fan base that has given up on him.
Yeah. So, and Patrick, we'll give you a chance to speak at some point tonight.
I thought we were doing fine.
And Bob, I want to stick on this for a bit. And this is, of course, a big part of the Oilers. It's a big part of what everybody's talking about now. Tell me if I'm seeing something. Like I just, when I watch Skinner, I get this sense, it reminds me a little bit of Campbell. Like it feels like a mental challenge for Skinner. Like this doesn't feel like, Stuart Skinner's all of a sudden a bad goalie. Just feels like it's in his head right now, and he's seemingly fighting every decision and doing everything like that. I mean, you're a guy that knows this. You coach goalies. What's your thought? And if you agree with me, like what's his way out? How does he get out of this?
Well, I'll tell you where it gets into your head. It gets in your head before the game or like in between games. That's where you start, questioning a lot of things, wondering what you're doing wrong, and then, doing a lot of analyzing, working things out. When the puck drops, you want that first shot pretty soon, just so you can feel the puck, get in game mode, and that first save gives you confidence. Then it's just your instincts that take over. You're fine. Where it comes back is your first, what you feel like is a goal you should have had back when that goes in. So in my mind, I'm thinking the second LA Kings goal where the guy made a nice move, put it between his legs, sort of thing. That's one Skinner wants back because it went through him. That might be the first time where it comes into his mind going, oh shit, I gotta battle now. Like I gotta start, picking myself up. You are your own goalie coach during the game. So you're the one talking to yourself. You can shake it off, but then that's another one and it goes through him. Yeah, there's going to be a certain time that goes in your head, but it definitely affects you more after the game. Like I guarantee you, he did not sleep well last night. He replayed that game probably 4 or 5 times in his head and did not sleep well. And it's going to be because of those 2 goals, because he realizes, I doubt he worries about that last goal at all. He realized that if he stops one of those 2 goals that he thinks he should have stopped, we win that game.
Yeah. About the last goal, and I'm curious on Patrick's thought on this too. I know that the puck's going past, but all he needed to do was I know it's all any goalie ever needs to do. But we're talking. He
just made the save. Everything would be fine.
That's that's it, right? Like he just needs to be in front of the puck there because there's not enough time. There's nobody else coming. There's nothing else happening that he needs to, clear the rebound one way or the other. He really just needs to get in front of the puck. Instead, he tries to, cut off the player. I mean, the puck's got nowhere to go if he sits back in the crease, right? Like the angle was off already. He's going around. I see you shaking your head, and I'm clearly I'm right on this one. But I mean, how do you Patrick? You see it my way, or Bob's clearly shaking his head? What's your thought on it? And then we'll let Bob tell us why we're wrong, I guess.
Well, I think you're looking at it with hindsight. If he had just let it
Absolutely,
go.
Absolutely, I am. Yeah.
And I think in the moment he's trying to challenge the shooter. He's trying to cut it off. And I think that's just where he's immediately going to. Like the puck came back out from behind the net, if I'm remembering this correctly, created that opportunity. And I think he was just trying to get out in front of it, try and make any shot impossible to get through. And he essentially did that because, as we said, when he skated around him and took the shot was going to miss the net. It only went in because it deflected off Leon Draisaitl's stick. So everything would have been simpler and easier if he had done what you did or what you suggested, just move back, cover the net. And I think everyone would be a lot happier right now. But I think his instinct told him to challenge the shooter. So that's what he did there.
Well, hey, it was already overtime. Oilers fans have this, just like Vegas fans the game before, think that the missed call decided the game. That didn't decide the game. The goal decided the game, right? That's what, it was already in overtime. So it is what it is, right? You get, if it's 0.04 seconds left or, second or third overtime period, it was a game deciding goal. And that's it, plain and simple. There's no, there's nothing more you can say about it. I'm just glad that I got to go to bed early, right? Like we were already in overtime at that point, right? Like everybody knew if somebody scores, it's over. If Edmonton had scored, it would have been over.
That would have been the night I wouldn't have minded staying up, though.
Well, yes, I agree. Here's
The
the
ones
other.
that happen on weeknights that drive me nuts.
Here's the other piece. We know we've got guys in the heavy hockey chat that says series have changed. I mean, Oilers are still up 2-1, right?
Yeah.
They've proven throughout the playoffs that you can't count them out at any time.
You're not going to let me chat about the Skinner thing?
Oh, jeez. Bob's sitting there. He's not even listening to me anymore. He just wants to talk. All right, Bob. Go ahead. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Oh, well, I can't begin that one. That's a whole show in itself.
He took the headphones out. He knows.
Patrick's leaving, putting on a pot of coffee. So
Go ahead, Bob. I'm listening.
yeah, I can see you chatting in the chat.
Yeah, what's going on in the chat?
So the puck is pretty much blindly sent to the into the slot by the King forecheck. Again, this is a total awareness of the clock, knowing there's no time left. So that's a desperation play. And it pops past two of our D-men there. And I think it was Nurse and Kulak that kind of both go down to stop Smith from taking a shot from the slot. Or was it Nurse and McDavid? I'm not sure. But two guys go down.
Nurse McDavid.
Yeah. Nurse and McDavid go down in the slot, basically sitting on each other. They're taking away that shot from Smith. So now Smith has to go around them. Again, no time. And the funny thing is, which is a bit hypocritical, I feel, everybody's saying Skinner should stay in his net for that one. And yet one of the biggest complaints we have about Skinner is he stays too deep in his net too often at the time. So what do we want him? Do we want to stay in the net? Do we want him to challenge hitter? Like, people need to make up their minds here. I think Skinner also is aware of the clock. He comes out to take away the shot, leave no room. I mean, Skinner's a big guy. He comes out. There is no shot for Smith, and there wasn't. He couldn't take that shot because Skinner came up. Now he had enough time to try to skate around him, and then pirate through the crease. But it was another desperation play. It was as desperate as the blind pass into the slot, hoping a King would be there. This was Smith blind pass through the crease, hoping to get a bounce or a thing. Skinner overcommitted a bit, yes, but he took away the shot. You want him to stay back and make the save? There was no save to be made. There was not. He took the shot away, no save. Next thing was putting the puck through the crease. There's no save there. The only save he could have made was off Draisaitl.
He should have made it. You just watched it go in? No effort.
Stay in the crease. Oh, he stays too much in the crease. What are you doing outside the crease? It's lose-lose, and Stu's in that position right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you're 100% right on that, Stu. There's no win for Stuart Skinner right now.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at myself as I'm saying this. I can see, it's like I'm talking to myself. I feel like all the time.
It's already going to be online, Bob. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thanks.
It's for Stuart Skinner, there's never going to be a win in this situation. In fact, one of the challenges that the Oilers have is as they go into next season, right, is what to do with that. Yeah. I'm curious though, and we talk about it for the fans. Stuart Skinner's not going to win. Either of you think this is playing into the players' heads?
I guarantee you it's playing into Stu's head more than the players. The only thing that changes really for the players too much is how a goalie plays the puck. They're not going to change their style just because Skinner's in net as opposed to Pickard in net. I do think there's a certain point now where Stu's probably thinking he's cursed. I mean, they've lost every game that he's been in fact, and we've lost no games that he hasn't been in. I mean, that's going to weigh on you a bit. And if there are, and professional athletes a lot of them are very superstitious, so there could be some of that going on in the room going, man, we got to break this curse somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I think the superstition part, I hadn't really thought about that, but for sure, you have to. Now you're playing like it just seems every time Skinner's in net, you're. I'm getting dizzy over here. What's going on there, Patrick?
I had to plug my laptop in. Sorry, I forgot to plug it in. It's like low battery. I'm like, oh.
Friedman's still watching us, but that's all right. That's all right.
I'm back now.
I don't
Plugged
even,
in.
I've lost my thought process now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, learn to
Some stranger
multitask like
says,
me.
and we know this, like the team seems to play better in front of Pickard for some reason. Connor said as much in his interview after the first game Pickard was in. Quit moving your camera. They you know, I mean, this team's got to get out of this slump with Skinner. They don't have much choice. You got either of you think like Pickard's out for like a week, or I mean, this he obviously went back and played the rest of the game.
You have adrenaline going though too when you
Yeah.
first get hurt. You don't really feel the pain that much till the next day. I mean, Patrick brought up a good point there. It was the fact that at first, day to day, that's fine. We can hang in there. If this was a must-win game, we'd probably see Pickard in there, whatever. But now, like as Patrick said, we called Delia up. That to me is as well as like, oh, this could be maybe a bit more worse than we really want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guess is he's out for the series.
For
I
the
don't want you
series.
saying that.
Yeah.
I don't want you saying that.
Well,
Stop
I hope I'm
getting
wrong, but I hope we know we're not seeing him in Game 4, but I don't know. It'd be over the course of a week if they get to say Game 7. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible he's back before the series would be over. But if the series is over as quickly as I want it to be, he might miss the rest of the series.
So Charlie Dufault, new in the chat, says Oilers are fine. Draisaitl had a brain fart. Things are fine. Next game. Either of you in this sort of thought process, like it's still. I mean, you'd think if it was Oilers fans, we're in an elimination game tomorrow night in Edmonton. But do either of you feel good about where the Oilers are at, or is there a sense of worry and dread with either of you right now?
Well, I think Chris Knobloch said it. If you told Oilers fans right now they'd be up 2-1 going into Game 4 at home, I think everybody would take it. I don't know anybody that would really be upset. I mean, I get where the worry would come in because you could be up 3-0 right now, but at the same time, Game 2 could have been a Vegas win in overtime, could have been a 1-1 tie. Vegas wins that one, and they're up 2-1. So I don't know. I think the Oilers are still in a pretty enviable position. They're playing Game 4 at home, looking for a bounce back, and this team usually does bounce back after a bad game, especially in the playoffs. So I think they're in a great position to go up 3-1, and then they got 3 cracks at eliminating them. So I'm not worried right now. I mean, it sucked to lose the way they did last night, but you're going to lose sometimes in the playoffs. You're playing the best teams. You can't expect to win every game.
No, you got to put. That's how you put a series together. That's how you put a run together, right? Yeah, Bob, your thoughts?
Yeah, 100% agree with Charlie and with Patrick here. Yeah,
my name's not Charlie.
we're in good shape. No, I think I wish you were though. he seemed pretty smart.
Wow.
Yeah,
the camera must add IQ points.
They're in great shape. Yeah, like we just came off our that 6-game winning streak we had in the playoffs was our longest winning streak of the season, and so that's
yeah, that's crazy.
All signs point up. All the guys said it too in the pregame. We expect the best Vegas team in Game 3, and they probably got it. That's the best Vegas has looked so far, right? And they needed to be, and they showed they could fight back as well, same as the Oilers could. They were down by 2, they fought back to tie it up, ended up winning in the end. So if anything, it might even go in our favor now. It's a bit of a wake-up call. I know all us fans were kind of hoping we win the 2 games in Vegas, we could sweep here. And I'm sure that may have crossed the Oilers' mind too, to some degree. And now it's going to be a bit of a wake-up call going, okay, this is a series now, right? And we do our best when our backs get pushed around a little bit, right?
Yeah. I think for me, I look at it, I think, look, we're, still up in the series, right? Even if heaven forbid that the Oilers lose tomorrow night, the series is tied, right? It's going back to Vegas. It's tied. This is where you'd expect it to be after, 4 games in any series. In fact, a lot of folks said the Golden Knights to win this series, right? And so the Oilers are up in a series that a lot of people have thought that the Golden Knights were ahead in. The Oilers have shown that they can dominate play. I thought that the second and third period of game 1 was an absolute clinic by the Oilers. And for the most part, a good part of the first 15 minutes was clinical for the Oilers too. In last game, the Oilers need to, you said it best. I think they've got to stay on it, right? Like they've got to keep moving forward, right? This is not a team that can sit back and play defense. And other teams at some point may catch on too, that they can't sit back and play defense against the Oilers, right? But when this team wants to exert its will, right? When they want to push forward and play, they win games, right? Like they win all sorts of games. And I think tomorrow night we're going to see a whole different team, right? But they have to not just start fast. They've got to keep it together. And it just has to be the Oilers team that we saw the first 15 minutes of the game, but for a whole 60 minutes, right? And Connor McDavid will lead the way. We need more out of the fourth line again. The depth in this team has been outstanding, right? Something that nobody saw coming. I would have liked to see Knobloch go back to the lines that have been successful this, getting them here, right? Because I thought that Kane, Nuge, and Hyman line has been pretty good. But go back to that and go to a team that's going to play a full 60 minutes, right? Rather than sit back. Yeah. Any word, by the way, has there been any talk about Ekholm?
Not since last series. Just heard that he was a possibility for round 3.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, guys,
they did confirm he's out for round 2, like completely. So there's no chance of him coming back in round 2.
I mean, if Ekholm comes back at any point and the Oilers are still in it, this team is it's pretty stellar. Like when they put the game together, right? Any time that they've decided that they need to score goals, they do it at will. Connor McDavid is at another level, right? Like he's just putting and he's getting bounces now. Yeah. And that's when Connor McDavid's getting bounces and scoring, like you're in trouble, right? Like don't think that for 1 second the Knights aren't coming into next game thinking they've got this series changed and they've got all the momentum. I didn't even feel that way at the end of the game last game. I thought it's just a bad break.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like there's a lot of fans that seemingly just sat there and thought
it's over.
Yeah, it's over. But I don't know. I just thought, hey, it's a bad break. It's like losing in overtime. Right? Oilers they're still at home.
Yep.
Still at home for game 4. Like you win tomorrow night and they're up 3-1, which is pretty damn good.
And Vegas might be without Stone still too. So
yeah, he's day to day, I heard. I think.
Yeah.
Now I noticed Vegas fans aren't complaining about the missed call anymore. I hope.
Well, they probably
for now.
Yeah. And they shouldn't be. I mean, the guy that should have been suspended and out of the lineup scores a goal. So I think that's the compensation, right? Like that's you got for me the missed call was not it was a blatant missed call.
Yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't a game decider, right?
And the guy that was hurt was supposedly scored too, right?
Yeah.
McNabb or
McNabb. Yeah.
Well, I guess he got McDavid's goal too.
I could tell you when McNabb got up, I knew right away that he wasn't like the way that he skated off the ice. I mean, it's like watching soccer. The way he's rolling. I mean, he went into the boards hard, but he wasn't hurt. Like he was, he got up and the way he skated off, I knew he'd be back.
Is this
so-
something we don't do enough as an Oiler team? Do we not snap our heads enough or go down easily enough? Is that something we don't do enough? Because obviously, we all know that the officiating in general in NHL has gone decidedly downhill over the last decade or so, and now they're falling for this stuff. Even it seems like more so. Is this something now that we got to put in our game plan? Like, do we worry about our pride that way? Just get these penalties? Because
I hope
Kings did it
hockey's
to us.
not getting to that, but it
Kings-
does. There are guys. Yeah.
The Kings did it to us. I mean, Vegas did it again yesterday on Kane's hit there. Like, it's just head snaps back. Oh, well, that's a headshot. We better call that. So,
Oh, the headshot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The big headshot. Yeah.
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 Remarkable
What
recovery.
and the eyes covering his
Oh, yeah.
eyes.
always yeah.
It is. Those guys. Well, they're entertainers in Vegas, right? That's what they do. Yeah, no, I look, I don't want to see hockey go that route. And I think if you play in a Canadian market, I think it's a little bit different. Like the fans here don't want that crap. I don't think Oilers fans want to see that.
They don't.
Maybe
But
I'm wrong.
we want wins more than anything else.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it either. Don't get me wrong. But other teams are doing it to us. And it's like I feel like we're one of the few teams that aren't. Maybe maybe all the Canadian teams aren't doing it. I'm not sure. But I mean, if it's gonna give us some edges, I don't want to see it. But I'm just saying other teams are doing it and it's working for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it might have something to do with, the amount of calls Vegas doesn't get or it gets called in their favor. It's and seemingly like you can't tell if a guy in Vegas is actually injured or not.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Stone missed a whole season, then magically came back for game 1. Right?
Mhm.
Like, who knows? And
Yeah, someone should tell him there's no LTIR in the playoffs, so you don't have to go on it. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can just play.
yeah. I mean, the McNabb thing, I mean, he looked like he had separated his shoulder
Yeah.
10 different ways, the way he was reeling on the ice. And then all of a sudden look, hey, there's no call. Let's get up. Time to skate back to the, I knew as soon as he stood up, the way he skated off, he'd be back for the next game.
Yeah.
Friedman tweets it out or posts it that he's in the lineup. I mean, I don't know. Is that even breaking news? Right? Like, Vegas player fakes injury. That's not a headline anymore. Like that's not, it is what it is. This is the kind of thing though that just drives me nuts. Like I feel like at the end of every series, they're supposed to go back and look at, the officials look back and say, but you'd think that they would, if I'm an official and I know these guys are playing me every single time, I'd be pissed. I'd call it the other way.
Yeah.
But doesn't seem to be the case. Like it
bring
just,
out the embellishment.
yeah.
Well, the officials might not even rewatch their games. They don't want to know the truth.
It's possible. It is possible.
Why would you know how it ends? So.
Yeah, but it's not been. Look, the way this series is going. Obviously, I mean that was definitely a trip on Arvidsson.
Well, it should have been a penalty, but
It should have.
Yeah,
been a
for
penalty.
sure.
Yeah.
This, I would say, thankfully that officiating has not seemingly been the reason that this series has gone one way or the other. Although Vegas fans would have you believe that the missed call is why they lost the game, that's not a game deciding play. You still have to play defense. Right? Like you still have a chance to play some defense and score a goal. But instead, Connor McDavid flies by them. That's the game deciding play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as long as they get that through their head, then we're fine. Lotzi, what do we think about the non-call on Hurdle versus Picard?
I'm not surprised there was no call. I mean,
Neither
you
was
definitely
I.
could have called something, but I don't know. That's basically my response. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's I didn't think anything of it at the time. I don't think anything of it now. It sucks though, right? Like, it obviously took the player out. Maybe 2 minutes would have been nice. I don't know. I don't,
Yeah. We lose Pickard either way, so
Yeah. I think the bigger question is how you could just fine a guy $7,500 for cross-checking to the face,
Yeah.
whether he meant to do it or not.
Yeah.
And you guys know as well as anybody, I don't think he meant to do it.
No.
Right? Like, I don't think he was out there thinking, I'm going to cross-check this guy in the face. But I still think he deserves a suspension. And if you think he did do it, and if he did, then he deserves a suspension. Either way, he deserves
Yeah.
a suspension more than a fine. And
well, whether you mean to do it or you don't mean to do it, that's irrelevant because you can't prove that. Like, we can all have our opinions on it, which we did in the chat, whether you think he meant to or not, didn't mean to, but that doesn't matter. You did do it. So
yeah.
I ran
think it
my
matters.
car into this place, whatever. I didn't mean to do it. Well, you did it. So, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, I think it means something to a certain degree. Like, there's a lot to be said for intent, right?
But like vicious intent. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in this case, yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think he meant to do it in the face, but the reality is he did do it, and the fact that he only lost $25, like, that's whatever for an NHL player, and his team probably paid it, so whatever.
Yeah, and now he can't get Kobe beef for dinner next night or whatever.
Yeah, well, poor guy. That's his pregame meal. What's he gonna do?
Yeah,
they probably get comped at all the casinos anyway.
Yeah,
they're fine.
Ace is in the chat. Typically, he's there for comedy relief, but he does say this is why the team needs a Probert. Thoughts? Like, are the Oilers? I mean, Look, I think the Oilers have played. They've been the most hitting team, surprisingly, in the playoffs so far. Do they need any extra toughness? Is there anything, I mean, on that, extra toughness, speed, youth, any of these things that we talked about mid-season, preseason, end of season, like, are we getting those things? Or are the Oilers still missing something? Start with the toughness. Bob?
Go ahead, Bob.
No, because what's actually happened where we need extra toughness than what we had, and than what we have. I mean, Zach Hyman, of all people, not really known as Mr. Physical, is leading the whole NHL in hits right now. So he's bought into the system. You saw Connor throw a couple of big hits. Kane is coming from out of nowhere and throttling guys. I mean, I think we're fine. I don't think we're being physically intimidated at all. I don't think we've had to be physically intimidating. I think we're holding our own. There's been nothing where we needed somebody to go above and beyond extra to put somebody in their place, per se. So I think toughness-wise, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah, no, like, well, we've got a guy on every line. Like, Kane, Frederick, Podkolzin, Perry. Like, that's much better than we had throughout the whole regular season. Like, we didn't have Kane, we didn't have Frederick for pretty much the whole regular season. So we have those guys added now. So I think we have that toughness element. And beyond that, that's not really the team we are, where you have someone that goes and does something stupid, or, well, not so they're stupid, but trying to take somebody down or something like that. That's not the team that we are. So if we had a player on our team that, unless they're a highly skilled player and can do that, they don't really fit in our mix anyway, because when you're going to put that guy on the ice, he's never going to see any ice time, because we don't really have like a team that's set up that way anyway.
Well, and not to misquote Ace, he doesn't think the Oilers are being bullied. Just thinks more toughness is good. And
Well,
yeah,
always more
I mean,
toughness is good. Yeah.
you could put another guy on the fourth line.
They have him,
Yeah,
Mr.
Yeah.
Jones.
yeah.
Yeah.
True. They got. I mean, I don't know that he's striking fear in any of the opponents, but
No, but he adds toughness. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's a reason he's not in the lineup right now. But
Yeah. And the Oilers are playing a physical game, like they're getting in there. The thing that's surprised me the most about this Oilers team in this playoff season is we talked about speed all season long, but they're winning. It's and it was driving me nuts last game. It seemed like the officials wanted to blow off or icing on every Oilers play. But the Oilers were beating the Vegas players to the puck. I don't know if Vegas is maybe that slow, but the Oilers look a lot faster than we've been giving them credit for, right? Arvidsson's got another gear that he's come into in the playoffs. Hyman, always looks fast, but he looks faster in the playoffs, right? Like,
Brown.
yeah, like these guys are this is a team that we thought was on the slow side. But I've been surprised by their speed. Is that either of you see that or just me?
I was kind of confused where that slowness theory came in, to be honest. I never really thought that we were a slow team. I mean, yeah, we have one of the slowest skaters in the league on our team. Was that maybe the glaring picture that we saw? When we thought about speed, we thought about our slowest guy and said, okay, we are a slow team. Or in fact, we're one of the oldest teams too. Does that automatically mean we're not fast? I mean, up and down the lineup, we have guys that are fast. I mean, I've actually been surprised at how fast a guy like Frederick even is. I didn't know he had that element to his game. Some of his forechecks are pretty remarkable. We've seen what Yamar can do, speed wise too. Like up and down the lineup, we have Corey Perry might be the only guy that comes to mind when I think about he's not the best skater, fastest skater. Maybe some guys in the back end, but even there, Kulak can skate, Nurse can skate. Speed wise. I've always been confused at that part of the conversation. I'll be honest. I never really thought speed was our issue.
I mean, I would argue it isn't. At least right now, it seems like the team's flying.
I was just going to say what Lotsy just mentioned in the chat there. We did lose like a lot of speed in the summer, though, with McLeod and Holloway and stuff. So we were much faster before. So comparatively to how quick the guys were last playoffs, we have lost speed. Yeah.
I love how after game 1 and game 2 in the Kings Oilers series, everybody's like, you're missing Fogle now. then we sweep them 4 straight. Hey, I mean, Fogle, where's he playing right now? He's watching. Maybe he's watching right now. Who knows?
Hey, Warren's not his fault, though. The Kings losing is an annual rite of passage. So I mean,
that's right.
He set himself up for failure there.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is a team I didn't expect. We didn't expect the depth. We didn't expect a lot of things. But then the other part, though, is we didn't expect them because we never saw them.
It's true.
Like, everybody's talking about this team, what they did or didn't have, but nobody saw the team. Playoffs was the first time we got to see this full team together. We've never seen Frederick play. Saw him play for 2 minutes or 7 minutes in one game, and then he's out. And Oilers traded for him for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if we're still seeing like Frederick comfortable yet.
Yeah.
Right. Like this team's going to get better down the stretch. If I had one complaint about this team, it's their lack of consistency for a full 60 minutes. And it just feels like they need some type of, I don't know, incentive or something to get them going, like start it up. But when they decide to flip the switch, it's like nobody can play with them.
I think there's a lot of guys on the roster, even from last year, that were having so-so seasons. We're kind of just waiting for the playoffs. I mean, you come from that long run last year, Game 7, and now you have to start from 0 and have an 82-game slug. At this point, you just want the playoffs to happen. and because you've been there, and you want to get back there. You want to redeem yourself. You want to redeem the team. So we didn't have a bad regular season, but I know in the beginning of the season they said we wanted to win the division. Yeah, that was a great goal, and that was a good thing to say. I think we just wanted the playoffs. And you see some guys flicking the switch. I mean, Brown's playing better than ever. Janmark is finding his game. Like, these are the guys that didn't have the greatest of regular seasons and are now they flicked that switch because now it's a time for redemption. Even Connor, by Connor's standards, didn't have the great a Connor-like season, right? And now look at him in the playoffs again. He's Connor McDavid. So the only guy I think you can say that had stellar seasons for the Oilers were a regular season that haven't really taken a huge step back to playoffs has been like Draisaitl. And honestly, besides last game where I thought Nurse sucked, and Nurse had a great regular season, but he's had decent playoffs too. The rest of the guys were waiting for the playoffs to hit. Flick the switch.
He's been good. Some stranger brings something out. Like, would you make any lineup changes? Emberson hasn't, like, I'd maybe consider drawing Stetcher in. Maybe either of you think about that? I mean, Emberson does seem to get exposed a couple times every game, it would seem. It's not terrible. He doesn't play a lot of minutes, so he's still, sheltered. But would either of you throw Stetcher in, or you keep lineup as is?
No, I think the Oilers have just been waiting for this. Well, not waiting to lose, but waiting for a good excuse to make some changes because they're on a 6-game winning streak. You don't change anything, but they've lost a game now. Like you said, Emberson hasn't been perfect. Troy Stetcher had a really strong regular season, played really well with Darnell Nurse. So you got to bring him in at some point, because why not bring him in now where if you have to take him back out again next game because he looks bad, you've got somebody healthy to do it. They're not drawing from a point of weakness. So you're probably going to need Troy Stetcher at some point anyway. So why not get him into a game now, give you some fresh legs? And another guy I wonder if we might see is Jeff Skinner, but we'll see. I don't know if taking someone out at forward, it makes as much sense as Emberson Stetcher swap.
Yeah, I mean, Skinner's going to be fourth liner if he comes back, right? I mean,
We don't want him.
And who do you take out? Yeah. I've heard Frederick's name, but
I haven't been upset with Frederick though.
No,
right? I just think he stays in.
That's why I think Skinner's more of a long shot. I think Stetcher Emberson makes more sense, but
we don't want Skinner in the fourth line either. He's not a bottom 6 player. If you're going to throw him in, you got to give him top 6 minutes. And he has shown he can do it. But I'm with you, Patrick. I don't see who you take out. I'm a Jeff Skinner booster. Apparently, I'm just a Skinner booster by sounds of it. But I think I like that signing. He didn't pan out the way we wanted to, but he showed flashes that he can. He can create chemistry with these guys. He has the skill to do it. But right now we have a playoff, especially on our forwards. We have a good playoff lineup, like you alluded to before, Patrick. We have that tough aggravator guy on each line. We have skill guys on each line. We have checking guys on each line. I think as well, basically word for word what you said, Patrick, was the fact that we weren't waiting for this for an excuse, but now we have an excuse. Stetcher's waiting in the wings. He's ready to go. Emberson, we kind of had him in the lineup just as a penalty kill specialist, it seemed. And even then he started to falter a bit. I think he's too young to play a specialized role. He's not in the rhythm of the game, not the flow of the game. It's kind of like putting in a goalie in cold. You swap a goalie out, you throw him in cold. Emerson's been sitting on the bench this whole time. Now all of a sudden he has to jump out for a penalty kill. And that's where he's been a specialist there, and he's been exposed there as well as his 5-on-5. So,
well, it's not like our PK's been stellar, right? Like, I mean, it's not going. Hopefully,
really
it doesn't get any worse. I guess.
That you can kill too.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, some stranger says it. Knobloch doesn't love Skinner. I'd have to agree. I don't think Skinner's coming in at all.
I do like that we have him sitting there, though, able to come in.
I think I agree, right? Like, if something happens to a player or whatever, you got Jeff Skinner there. Like, that's nice depth to have in the background. There's a lot worse players you could put in this lineup to replace somebody than Jeff Skinner.
That's huge depth. What other team has a top 6 forward sitting in their depth chart right now? Not playing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's great, right? Like I mean, all season long, I don't think Skinner's lack of ability for this team is his fault necessarily. I think Knobloch had it out against him all season and never played him where he should have been played. I think he probably would have had more chemistry if he'd been played appropriately. But we're at where we're at, right? Like the Oilers are where they're at, and now it doesnn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
Right,
like saying
like
this defenseman sucks on the power play. It's like, well, he's a defenseman. He's not supposed to. Well, I guess shooting from the point. Maybe that's a bad example,
yeah.
but you get what I'm trying to say.
Well, and that's it, right? And so you got him. He's there in the lineup. He got a game in a playoff game. It's great, right? Like he got that down pat, and if he has to come in, he's there. Right now, the Oilers, they've lost one game. You can't, you can't throw everything out the window and say, and look, the Oilers have not had trouble scoring. Like, this is not a scoring issue, right? Offense is not the challenge for the Edmonton Oilers.
We're scoring lots of goals, so
yeah. And as we saw in game 1 with Connor McDavid, if he decides he wants to score 4 or 5, he's going to score 4 or 5, right? Like it's this is a team. This might be the best offensive team in the playoffs right now. No, I'm not even saying might be. It bar none is the best offensive team in the playoffs right now. And when they turn it up and decide that they want to score goals, whether the team's playing defensive or not, whoever they're playing against, in fact, as we've seen, that's exactly the wrong way to play against the Oilers. They're going to score goals, right? Like third period games, they come from behind wins, 6 straight. They're making good goalies look bad.
Yeah, another thing there, like how many people would have predicted at the beginning of the season that Pickard's going to outplay Kemper in the playoffs?
Nobody.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the beauty of playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, this is it, right? Like, I just see the Josh Brown chat and we're not. He's not making it in anytime soon.
I'd rather play with 5 defensemen.
Which we basically have.
We get to that. Yeah. All right. Okay, we've got under 30 minutes left. I mean, we know, like, I think agreed, if the Oilers put in Stetcher, it's not going to be a huge surprise. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of changes to the offense. Maybe one single change. Corey Perry's been outstanding. We haven't talked about him. Some comments in the chat about Corey Perry. He's been outstanding. Like, beyond outstanding, honestly. Yeah. Right?
5 goals already in these playoffs. We played what?
Yeah.
9 games?
Yeah.
This is a true
liability.
He is not like this is where you see the ultimate in a veteran player, because he can play on any line and be effective. I mean, first, second, third, fourth, like he is not a detriment to this team. Does he have off games? Yeah, of course. He's a professional athlete. They all have off games. But my goodness, he scored 19 goals playing predominantly bottom 6. And now here in the playoffs, like 5 goals already. This guy, boy, is he a gamer. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
worth that $1 million.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was on record for like 2 years saying we needed to sign this guy. I mean, once in a while I get something right. Klingberg, I think that's also been good. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's I saw Broberg's name in the lineup or in the chat tonight. I think Klingberg has done a good job replacing what we would have got out of Broberg.
I think he's been fantastic. If he may have been our best defenseman here in the first, little bit here. Last night, I think may have been his first off game, but you could say that about a lot of Oilers. But up till then, yeah, he's been phenomenal, and I think he is one of those guys who's just waited for his redemption time here in the playoffs. I mean, he was hurt in the regular season. Obviously, he came back and he was disappointing, but it was somewhat to be expected because it was kind of a gamble shot. But it's paying off now. Boy, he has been solid.
Yeah, I'll give the Oilers front office credit, right? Like when they've taken runs at players that are available for whatever reason, right? Like they're available off of injury, like that Connor Brown, Klingberg, right? Like they just, these players are seemingly turning out. And this team, when it's fully healthy and playing, is one of the top 3 teams in the league, regular season or playoffs. And, it still seems underrated by some for some reason, right? Like everybody seems, I think there's enough Oiler haters out there that's what happens, right? And I also think, like everybody wants to bet against Connor McDavid.
Exactly.
Right? Like, yeah.
It's
They
not
wanna
just
lose their money. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's also not just the injury guys they've gone after, which you're bang on about, Michael. Not all of them have panned out. Like Regula obviously never came back, and then also you had like Frederick and Klingberg that were struggling early on, and now all of a sudden they're taking off. But how about also the controversial players that they chased after? Evander Kane, number one. Corey Perry. These were both controversial players when we picked them up that were kind of like almost on the blacklist for some off-ice activities or what have you, right? And look at those guys now. Like the management is taking runs at these guys, and most of them are paying off for us.
Yeah, I mean it's been good because you have 2 guys that are making a ton of money, right?
Yeah.
And it restricts you in terms of like the Corey Perry re-signing. It's the best signing of the year, is it not? I mean, this is like and it was highly criticized.
Yeah.
Right? Highly criticized.
Well, did anyone else who
surprised to
signed
see
for $1 million get 19 goals?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean,
Like I don't know the stats. Maybe someone did, but there can't be many of them.
I mean, there has got to be guys that like there's got to be people with Corey Perry Oilers jerseys now, even. Right? I haven't seen one yet, but I'd give him a fist bump.
I actually the first year they signed him, it was the fan day, not the fan day, the season ticket holder signings at Rogers Place that night.
Yeah.
And as I was walking up to the line, there was a guy with a Corey Perry jersey right in front of me. He said he was the first guy at Ice District Authentics to buy the Corey Perry jersey.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean, you just don't see a lot of them.
Who would have seen the day, right? Corey Perry, what are you for him?
I honestly, for the 2 years leading up to him signing with the Oilers, every time he became available, I was like, I want to see Corey Perry in an Oilers. And I hated Corey Perry as much as any Oilers fan. Right. But that's exactly like those guys that I hate. Like if we can get them in the Oilers lineup, then I can hate them. I don't have to hate them anymore. And other teams can hate them, But the interesting thing about Corey Perry is we haven't seen the asshole player that we're used to seeing. He's really changed his game a little bit, right? Like he's not, he used to be kind of like a dirtbag on every play, but he hasn't even had to be, right? Like that's Evander Kane's area now, right? Like he's been, and that's a surprise to me. Kane's been doing a great job of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you need dirtbags. Every team needs a dirtbag, at least one.
As soon as you mentioned Kane, the chat went awful quiet there. Where are you, Lotzie?
He's still in mourning for the LA loss. So
yeah,
Lotzie wasn't the only one, but yeah.
No. I mean, and it was hard to believe that a guy like I always find it hard to believe that a guy could come back after that long, and then get back into. We're not talking rec league here. This is the fastest hockey game in the world, right? Like this is, to take a year off of that. I mean, I take 2 weeks off at the gym and I like can't move again if I go back, right? Like, it's crazy.
Oh, there he is.
So Evander Kane comes in and he's been playing outstanding. It did take him a couple games.
I missed a
Right.
full year 12 years ago, and I'm still trying to find my stride back. So
yeah. Yeah, like you had a stride. Oh man,
that's the same as when I say I'm trying to get back in shape. It kind of alludes to the fact that I was once in shape.
That's right. That's right.
Define
All right,
shape. Yeah.
quickly, guys, around the league right now. Leafs Panthers tied at 2 games apiece. We talked about it early in the pod right off the start. Like Austin, who? Like, where is the guy? Right? Like, does somebody put his face on a milk carton right now? Because he's the captain of the Leafs.
Highest paid player in the league, too.
Yeah. Are the Leafs in trouble? Like Panthers get their stride. Are the Leafs in trouble?
I mean,
Well,
it's 2-2. They got a chance, but yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Austin Matthews is no Corey Perry, that's for sure.
Well, no, he hasn't been, right? Like you joke, but he hasn't been. I think Leafs fans would hope for at least that, right?
I think the danger here is that it's the Florida Panthers. They've been there, the defending champions. There's a lot of pride trying to defend your title, right? I do think Toronto is the better team, and my gut says they'll still win this series. But it's going to be tougher. Obviously, it's already shown it's going to be tougher than what they thought it might be, especially after the first 2 games. So the defending champs, a lot of pride. Toronto's going to have to find that extra gear to get out of this, and I think they will.
Yeah, I mean they might. I don't know. I would have told you after the first 2 games that it looked like they looked really good, but in losing game 3 in the manner they did, I thought they still had a chance to redeem themselves. If tonight's game had gone any differently, I might have been sided with you. But the fact that they lose 2-0, outplayed the way they were, and guys couldn't get through. This is an offensive powerhouse, the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? Like they've got a lot of scoring talent on this team, and nobody put a goal in the net. Not even 6-on-5 for that matter, and that seems to be like a gimme for teams this year. So I'm not so convinced that I think this was a bad game for
Maybe that's what they needed. Maybe that's what they needed. You got to hit rock bottom. I mean, I think if anybody's going to be motivated to prove that was a one-off, it's got to be the Maple Leafs. If you have any pride in yourself, this is the ultimate wake-up game.
It has
if you
to
don't
be.
If you don't wake up from this, then you're in trouble. Yes.
Yeah, I mean they. Jeez, I hate even saying it, but I feel bad for Leafs fans. Like this, they actually were starting to feel like, I think 2 games in, they're feeling like maybe this is we're getting a third round, right? Like this team's for real. They're finally putting it together, and then they go. Even after game 3, I thought that the Leafs would come out and win tonight. I figured they would. I just thought that they would kind of bounce back from that. They actually dominated, I thought, play in game 3 against Florida, and came out on the wrong end of that. But then tonight was a whole different story. Jets and Stars. Talk about goaltending. Hellebuck puts up a goose egg or gets a shutout game before. And then I don't know, like what's going on. I didn't watch the game, but one of those has got to be an empty netter, right? Or two of those Dallas Stars goals. Do you guys know?
I didn't watch it either, but yeah, I heard Hellebuck was back to his usual self.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And you think after that phenomenal, like you looked at the old Hellebuck, the game before that, his first shaky one again, this is kind of a Stu thing here. His first shaky one against that, I know he felt like he should have had. It gets in your head, and it's almost worse for Hellebuck than it is for Stu Skinner, because Skinner has shown rebounding all the way up to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Hellebuck hasn't seen the light of day past that door number 2 for the longest time here, if ever. And man, if to be that dominant in the regular season and to be that bad in the playoffs, there's no way that you aren't second guessing yourself at this point. That's all it takes is one shaky goal.
I watched the shutout game, and he was
phenomenal.
stellar. He was phenomenal. Yeah, like that was, and I actually thought to myself, like, damn, like this is not, if he's going to play like that, if he found his playoff game, I was already saying it doesn't matter who comes out of the Dallas Vegas series. Like he played lights out, like he was unreal. But then to come back with that, like I just don't think they're going to recharge this time. I think this was the Stars took the 2-1 lead. I think that's it for the Jets. Thoughts, Patrick?
I thought Dallas was going to win the series overall. I think the Jets bounced back a little bit, but probably still Dallas in 6. I would say.
Yeah.
Sorry there for Charlie in the chat there. I know he wants his Jets to get through there. But
yeah, no, I mean, look, I thought like the Jets are a good team.
They are. Oh, they're a good team for sure. Well,
Their
regular season was insane.
But, yeah, and that extends beyond Hellebuck. Like they're a good team. Hell of a power play this year, right? Like best in the league. That's not goaltending, right? Like so they're a good team. They look, they pulled it out against St. Louis. That was you could have blamed goaltending for that, right? But they pulled it out. They got it done. And I just think after tonight, that's rough. Like that's, you just sort of found belief in your goalie again. Charlie's still in it. Obviously, Charlie, your Leafs or your Jets fan, that's gonna be, if the Oilers were down 2-1 after a thing like that, I'd probably say, yeah, Oilers are coming back. In fact, they did when they were down 2-0 to the Kings. Although in my heart, I didn't think that they'd come back and win 4 straight like they did, but it happens. All right. So that's Jets and Stars. What about Carolina, Washington? I mean, do either of you speak now? Any of you have this series going the way that it was going?
No.
No.
I mean, here's another. I think Freddie Anderson is the Corey Perry of goaltenders. Like he's another guy who's is kind of battling some stuff, isn't in the lineup all the time, kind of thing, and and then all of a sudden just finds that gear in the playoffs. I mean, we're seeing vintage Freddie Anderson in these playoffs. Like he's been, after the first round, I thought he was the best goalie in the first round, and he hasn't really let up too much here in round 2.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't surprised to see Carolina get by Jersey.
No, Jersey was a wash.
Yeah. I mean, that was the one that, I had.
You only got that one?
Yeah. I had a few of them, but I mean, I knew like Carolina would get, but no, that series is far from over. Right. I thought that the Caps would like do away with them handily. Like I didn't even, I figured this was the one series that I thought was a sure thing, might even be a sweep. But I'll be honest, like outside of, I'm not surprised at the Stars Jets series. Like that one was going to be close the whole time, right? But Carolina like looks like they deserve to be there. Yeah. I mean,
Well-
Rantanen's doing some good for Carolina too, I guess.
No doubt. Yeah, Stankoven, I guess.
Capitals just need a Canadian superstar, Alexander Ovechkin, to step up there.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, that series though is far from over. I think if anybody could come back, obviously, like the Capitals are a good team, hell of a team. It's a rarity though to get, the President's Trophy winner and the second place team still in the playoffs at this stage, right? But both are down by a game in each series.
Well, the danger there is, if you're a President's Trophy winner, is that means you were the first team to solidify your playoff spot, usually, and so you've been playing sometimes up to the last month or so of just hockey, waiting. You're not knocking off games just to get to the playoffs. You're bringing in guys from the farm team, give them some ice. You're resting guys, and then maybe for the last 2 games of the regular season, you put in your playoff lineup if they're all healthy. Meanwhile, you see a lot of these other teams that are fighting tooth and nail to get in the playoffs. They've been playing playoff hockey for the last month, so they're carrying that momentum into the playoffs. Whereas the team's been stagnant for a month. Now you got to find that playoff gear, and that's not just it's not a gentle step up of play. That's a gigantic leap up in play.
Yeah.
Yeah, the President's Trophy is one trophy I could care less if the Oilers ever win that. Like, who cares? Win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, regular and why anybody's ever surprised. Regular season and playoffs are 2 completely different seasons. They're
Completely.
played differently. Everything's different about it. The Stanley Cup, easily the hardest trophy to win in sports. And no matter who you think is going to win, there's always going to be a twist and turn, and just guys that, like the Oilers are a prime example. Guys are playing playoff. Connor Brown.
Mhm.
If we got this version of Connor Brown in the regular season, we'd be unstoppable, right? Like it's there's playoff versions of guys and there's
Yeah.
regular season versions. We just talked about Hellebuck. There's regular season. Hellebuck is stops everything. He could right, like he could stop a bullet, and in the playoffs, right? Like it's completely different guy. It's just there's 2 different seasons. You're right. Like who cares about President's Trophy? Just make the playoffs.
It's mind blowing to hear a conversation among the Jet circles, NHL circles, where they're talking about should we start Comrie over Hellebuck. That is mind blowing, but it's not unfair to ask, and that's even crazier because how do you sit the best goalie in the world right now for a guy who's not even an elite backup goalie, really?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a legit question.
I mean, it is. You're right. It is a legit question, and I don't get it. Nothing makes sense. The weirdest interview in this postseason was when they were asking Hellebuck, and he was saying, "I'm a student of the game. I read more about being a
Yeah.
goalie than." Like that was the weirdest.
I think he
thing.
was talking to himself. I think this is the stuff he's telling himself, I think, behind closed doors to get him back try to get himself in the proper mindset. And let's face it, you have to exaggerate. When you're in a slump, you have to exaggerate about yourself to try and get out of it. Because you tend to ride the lows too low. You have to really exaggerate your highs to try and get out of that dumpster. So I think in this interview, I think his inner monologue just came out.
Out of curiosity, was the book he was reading written by Dustin Schwartz?
Hey, I'm on this,
Okay.
Bob. Like Bob sort of pointed this out to me, and this is like maybe the Schwartz thing. Less about the goaltenders we have in net and more about how we score against the opposing team's goaltenders. And I want people to think about that for a while, because that's like Oilers have, as we know, time and time again, the best firepower in the league. And I don't even think we're seeing the full potential of it, even in the
100%.
regular season. Yeah. Like, I think that's where we could use a goaltending coach that'll, like you start talking in, watch any intermission, of course, I've never been in an NHL dressing room and been through their video things, but they, when they talk about it, right? Like, and they start talking about how to beat goalies, right? And when it goes from game to game, right? Like, they start to really dissect every angle, every type of play. And the video coaches and the goaltending coaches become like, you're not going to teach Skinner anything different now at this stage of the season, right? Like, he might go to Schwartz and ask him, like, how do I get out of this slump, Schwartzy? Like, what do I do? But it's too late now. Like, Skinner knows how to play the game.
Don't
right?
let Draisaitl in behind you.
Yeah, exactly. But what Schwartz can do is tell you, where Hill has been really weak, right? And he can tell you those, or should tell you, right? And I think we've missed that. I think we could use a goaltending coach that sees that a little bit better.
Okay, so Dustin Schwartz, yeah. Once you get to the NHL as a goalie, you have the skill to be in the NHL. You don't need to revamp your game. You need to fine tune your game. You need to tweak your game. The players change, so you have to change how you face some of these players, and so on. So that's part of the goalie coach also is really good for your mental game. You talk a lot of things, so you have another guy you can talk stuff through. He has some advice he's learned, and so on. But I don't think there's a lot of people that don't realize that another responsibility of the goalie coach is to scout the other team's goalies, and like you said, to find weaknesses, tendencies, and to exploit them and pass those off to the head coach to use this information as you see fit. So the Oilers are a top offensive team in the league. So I think that overshadows it a little bit. That might actually be one of our weaknesses, is scoring other teams' goalies, because we have a phenomenal offense. We have two of the greatest offensive players, in the history of the game, and then great depth and what have you. We've always been here, I think, a top 5 goals for team here in the Connor McDavid era for the most part. And yet this season alone, where were we in goals for? Were we top 5? I think, yeah. But we were like 13th in shooting percentage. So how many more goals are there still in the guns that aren't finding the targets? I mean, if we already have so much good offense, how much better could it be if we were scoring on better chances? To have the scores that we have and still be, middle of the pack in our shooting percentage, I don't get it. I mean, we should be demolishing teams offensively, really. Then we're not talking about Skinner letting in 4 goals, because we're scoring 7. Right?
Yeah. Which was always what the plan was, right? In Edmonton, that was always the plan, was to outscore any type of goaltending or defense that the Oilers had, right? That's always been the plan.
The most blatant thing was last year's Stanley Cup final. It seemed like everybody knew to go high glove on Bobrovsky, and yet nobody was going high glove on Bobrovsky. We're all keeping it low. Like, you went on every analytics site, they're showing where he gets scored on the most. You listen to the commentators, they're talking about where he gets scored the most, right? And everybody across the board, but yet especially in those first 3 to 4 games there, we're keeping everything low. Where is Schwartz telling him to shoot? Is he the only one who isn't privy to this information, but where Bobrovsky was at that time the weakest? Because we were not shooting there for the longest time.
So he needs to watch more of the mid-game intermission analyst stuff, is what you're saying.
He was working on his book.
He's working on his book. All right, guys. We're there. You know what? Great crowd tonight. Great crowd in the chat. Great crowd on Twitter, Facebook, all of the places we always stream. And Charlie, thanks for coming aboard and giving us the props in the chat. Appreciate that. So if you do get a chance, like, subscribe, all of those fun things. YouTube.ca/heavy hockey. Easy enough to find. Or watch us live on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Oilers Live. Thanks again, Bob, Patrick. Really appreciate you guys. My final words, I'll pass it off to Patrick, and Bob will give you last word tonight. You know the drill. Oilers up 2-1 going into game 4. I mean, this is where you want to be, especially when you're at home. I think that's not going to be lost on the Oilers as we go into tomorrow night, and the importance of that. And this is really a real opportunity for the Oilers, who've shown in a number of periods that they can dominate this Vegas Knights team. In fact, they dominate them when they put their foot on the gas. It's clinical. And I think the Oilers have a real shot tomorrow night. And, whether it's, Stuart Skinner for the win or not, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think it is true. This team could win in spite of goaltending. Still would love to see Skinner put up a good game, but I think they could win in spite of goaltending. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I do think the Oilers are going to pull out the win. And to be back to Vegas with the commanding lead. Patrick, you're up. Go for it.
Yeah, to echo your thoughts there, Michael, I think the Oilers get the job done tomorrow night. I'm expecting a strong game from Stuart Skinner. I'd just love to see him silence some of these critics. The criticism is deserved in a lot of areas, but at the same time, the poor guy just needs a break. So hopefully he can come through and have a big game. And I hope we're not saying the win is in spite of a bad performance from him. I want him to be one of the factors in the win tomorrow night. And thank you as always to everybody in the chat. It was just an amazing turnout here tonight. You guys were great. Great to have a guy like you, Charlie, on board, and appreciate the subscription and everything like that. And I have my own channel as well, the Oilers Fanatic. If you guys want to check that out, I do game reviews, news updates, and stuff like that. And keep these guys here informed because they don't watch much stuff apparently. So they got to tell me, rely on me to find out what's going on here. So anyway, that's all from me for tonight, guys. Have a great night.
Wow, well, that's almost word for word what I was going to say, Patrick. So thanks for taking my thunder. Always great to be on here, boys. Always appreciate the chance to talk with you fine gentlemen and about my beloved Oilers. Love our fan base, listener base, and how active they are. Lots of good points, funny, engaging. We just have stellar listeners. I want to leave with this going. I think we should take us as an Oiler fan base, and we are a passionate fan base, and I love that about us. Sometimes, obviously I get into riffs online just as much as anybody. Well, maybe more so because I'm a bit nosy sometimes, but sometimes I think we need to take the mentality of our players. I mean, let's not make the highs too high, but above all, let's not make the lows too low. We are in good shape. We're fine. We weren't going to win 16 games in a row. We are still in a better position than Vegas, and we are going to finish this off. Never give up. Don't lose faith. Never count on a team with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in it. Have a good night, Oiler Country.
Oilers Live.